Go ahead.
Really beloved, we are gathered officially now.
Mhm.
And Jenya, thank you for the meeting notes. Anyone have any comments on them from April 20th, April 12th?
No,
Right, how about a motion to accept them then?
I make the motion.
Do we have a second?
You can second. I think they took her.
I'll second.
Chris seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good. And they were nicely done. The boards and commissions we've talked about off and on for the last couple of weeks, they actually went into circulation, the first three of them. First three were shown at the Board of Supervisor meeting last week. That was Zoning Hearing Board, the Ways and Means Committee, and TAB. So the three of us got to present our videos, and they went reasonably well. I think they had reasonable comments, and I guess the plan is to continue with 3 per at each of the succeeding meetings until we get through all.
We will be moving to the beginning of the alphabet this time.
Ooh,
So that was a request to the chairman. So we'll be starting, I guess, with bike, hike, dog park, and DTMA.
yeah, I heard from DTMA today that they were on, so. I
Yeah,
knew
They want to be on. So
something had happened.
mhm.
Okay, good. And Aaron, you have those 3 been put up on the website?
We can't hear you, Aaron.
Muted, Aaron. Oop,
No, you can't.
Let's try this.
Yep,
Can
there you
hear me
go.
now?
there you go.
I forgot to change the setting, I guess. Those 3 are up on YouTube. They're up on the website as well as the BOC meeting.
Awesome.
Good.
Excellent.
All right, so we won't report on them now. From now on, we'll just bring them up as they come up, and on they'll go. All right, next item, the mission and vision document, nicely done. And
Mhm.
anyone else have any comments on the basic document? I think it got a lot of praise when it was first published.
It's dynamite.
Yeah, I thought it was, thought it was excellent.
Very thorough.
So what it lacks at this moment is a transmittal letter to go to the other boards and commissions, and that is something that, assuming you're all in favor of it, I will send it off to the other chair people to either tomorrow or the day after. So
Sounds good to me.
is that
That'd be
okay with
great.
everyone?
Yeah, I did allude at the meeting that this document existed, so that'd be great, Ed. Thank you.
It'd be better if it didn't catch on fire and disappear, yes. Okay, I'll get it on its way. I had hoped actually to have the transmittal letter done today, but I frankly didn't get to it. And now we come to the proposal for the June meeting. And Stephanie, Jean Louston, and I have been doing a little skullduggery on the side. And it's, I guess, all in response to the desire, my strong desire to get something going on the trails and the park video project. So the idea I came up with, or I concocted, was that we would aim towards an in-person meeting in June, because I'd dearly love to meet some of you folks in person for once. By June, we should be in a position where we could do that. Plus, we could do it today because we have meeting spaces that are spaced out enough. But the good part of this meeting in June is that we intend to bring forward at that point 15 minutes or so of the trails videos that we've already taken. So Jean has been busy going through the archives. You can see she looks very tired there in the picture. Her eyes are all bleary from looking at this old video. anyway, we're gonna bring forward a bunch of the stuff we already have. It is not meant to be presented as a finished product, but it's got about 4 or 5 different stops along the way that we made, I guess about a year, 2 years ago. And we'll just show you the kinds of things that we have. Number 2 attraction at this June meeting is that the Bike and Hike Vice Chairman, who is responsible for the interactive map project, will attend our meeting. And she tells me that she's going to bring with her the working prototype of the interactive map. So what we'll get in 2 shots is an idea of what we have in the can, and 2, an idea of what this interactive lookup tool looks like. And hopefully out of that will come a good discussion amongst all of us as to what do we think we need to do to bring this forward? What else do we need to shoot? What other segments, trail segments are there that might want to be added, so forth and so on, and kind of get this project onto the rails of something that we can be doing in the summer months that are ahead. I've seen some of the video that we got done. Actually, Gene put together one group of those videos. We have less than we think we did, because as it turns out, when you take videos riding along in a cart, you get a lot of wobble and jiggle. And so there's a fair amount of stuff we have that's not that usable. By the way, that's probably the camera that I was operating, but in any event, there are some problems. There's some problems with some of the stuff we got. But the stuff with Tom Kelso at the trailheads and him riding a bike and giving us some words while he rides along and looks at the scenery around him, that's all pretty good. And I think you'll see that in June. So I'm hoping you guys will be interested in that meeting enough so that we can get you to come out and come into the township. We'll put the stuff up on the big screens and let you take a look at it. Now, how does that sound to everybody? Is that okay?
I'm in favor.
Sounds great. Hey, Ed, do you want me to ask Liz Wyckoff if she can get any film of the oh, shoot, I'm drawing a blank to what it's called, where the kids ride, the
The pump track.
pump track.
Not at, we may want some of that a little later, right, Ed? I mean,
Yeah,
he's probably not familiar with what the pump track is.
A, I'm not familiar with the pump track. B, I don't know who Liz is, but other than those 2 questions.
So Liz is a teacher and also teaches at Linden and has been a huge advocate of the pump track, which is basically a bunch of mountainous hills for kids to take their mountain bikes up and down. And
Oh, cool.
it's a great outlet, and it would be really fun to watch. So it would add a little bit. I'm thinking of you, and even if just pictures, then you can add your own narrative. But if you needed something, we could share that document. And and I could ask her to send it.
What do you envision that those man-made mountains would be something we would put on the interactive map as a point of interest?
Yes, they will be on the
Absolutely.
interactive map.
Then I think it fits the profile. I mean,
Right.
what we had was a map that's about the trail system, but what we've got is a system that enables us to click on any point within the map and bring up something that gives us information about it. Could be a video, could be music, it could be a document, it could be all of the above. And so I'm looking to kind of help this interactive map project to get on steroids to do all kinds of stuff, not just trails.
Right. And I would probably say this group of, because I am the liaison to Bike and Hike, they are a huge wealth of information. You probably don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wording, they can say, oh, if you go on this trail, you can be all the way up to wherever in 3 miles, or if you take this trail, or, the pump track is great for ages X to Z, and kids typically are here, and then you can work your way through the burrow and grab a drink, or, whatever that is, or, they are a huge, they would be probably a huge resource in putting that video together in terms of all the verbiage and really identifying those particular trails, because they all have their favorites. So, and they're
Yeah,
really mindful about even like how to cut through to Unami, now that trail's in, and they're just, they are probably one of the most active beyond EAC, don't you think, Stephanie?
Yes, Nancy.
So they're a dynamo group, all of them, or
Yeah.
any of them. I mean, even just reaching out. I mean, Lynn Goldman's an excellent resource. Judy Hendrickson, Liz Wyckoff, they're the 3 that stick out, and Tom Kelso, obviously. But Tom comes more from an individual cyclist. Lynn does stuff with her grandchildren. Like I said, Liz is a teacher and rides her bike to school every day. So I think, they could bring a couple of different lenses of how to use the trails, which I think would be helpful, because we talked about that interactive map being released as your kids are getting done school, because they're done June 10th this year, really early. They'll be looking for things to do.
Would they be willing to be the on-camera person talking rather than just giving us verbiage?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I can ask them, but I mean, Liz is a teacher. She probably would be a great resource.
Yeah.
So should we if you want to invite them to our meeting, or I'm not,
We invited Judy to come so she can
Judy's-
focus on the map part of it and focus strictly on like what we have. Nobody has really seen what we have taken already. So Ed and Jean and I thought that the first step, would be to have Judy come, show her what we have. She would show us the interactive map, and then she could go then back to Bike and Hike. And for example, say to Liz, get footage of the pump track. And then we would feed it back to Jean. She would do a little editing, and then we'd be able to feed it onto the map.
Yeah, I think we could even go a step further. If they could identify their favorite trails and say, you should really go get some footage of A, B, C, or D.
Yeah.
Then we could certainly go out and collect some footage, and they could help us with verbiage over top of it. So I see it as more a joint project than I suspect they're going to want us to go some places to get some of the video. So I just want to have that conversation with Judy in light of what we have already. She will see some of the techniques we've already employed. And I don't know, Jean, were you at all successful in that, getting anything from the guy who did the walking ones?
He hasn't sent it to me. I don't know whether he forgot or whether he feels uncomfortable with it, but
Okay.
Anyway, I can try again. Do you think we should get, I mean, if there is video in existence of the pump track, can I get it from her and just add it?
Well, I think we could show it. We could show it separately if we get it as a clip.
Can she get it to me? Who is it that has the pump track video?
Liz,
Liz Wyckoff. Well, we'll see if she has. We'll see if she has it. I can
Okay.
email her and see if she's
Okay.
got it.
yeah, if she
I was
has
gonna
a
say, I can
clip.
ask her too, Stephanie, but if you want to ask her, that's even better, because you can then tell her the format, AKA Aaron. So not to create more work for
No,
anybody.
the format in this instance isn't going to be a problem because we're feeding them all through a computer at this stage. We're not dealing with the fussiness of our encoders for this. So we can handle pretty much any format people throw at us for this. All right, well, we will keep chugging away behind the scenes here to get this June meeting together. We'll figure out where in the township building to have it, either the caucus room or the main meeting room. And I'll let you know when we get a little closer to the meeting, where it'll be. It'll be the regular time, but it'll just be there at the township building. Okay,
Okay.
everybody? All right, good. Programming projects, so the other ones that are on our list. Art, has anything new happened to wrap up the
Mea
coronavirus?
culpa, that's not been my focus this past month. I've been doing other things. So,
Okay,
no, nothing to report.
all right, I did talk to DTMA today. They are still interested in doing a video. But they haven't made any progress in figuring out what exactly it is they want to do. So keep it on the list, please, they said, but nothing new to report on that either.
Who is that? Who?
That was Keith Haas from DTMA, Doylestown Township Municipal Authority.
Okay.
Sorry, I ran it all together.
What do they do?
That brings us to school district programs. We have the one concert up and running. Is that right, Aaron?
Yes. Thursdays at 9.
Hmm?
Thursday at 9 p.m. it runs.
Thursday at 9 p.m. And I believe, Nancy, you were going to ask if there were any others available.
I did ask, they believe they're going to be filming another one. I do not have any dates at this time, though. They're
Okay,
hoping to pull it together between now and the end of the year. I'm not quite sure.
all right,
When I know, you'll know.
all right. We'll leave it on the list so as to remind us. I'm mindful of that at the last tab meeting, Art, you suggested that we add a project that had something to do with the roundabouts
Yes,
on South Main Street. So I haven't forgotten that, but it's just not relevant yet, I would say.
it's
So I did
kind of
see
like
some
a-
guys out there today doing something. I'm not sure.
it's kind of a medium length project, I would imagine. So
Yeah.
it's nothing that's burning.
Anything else that anyone has that they want to add to this list, or
Not
If
right now, no.
if not, we'll move on. Social media. You will remember that last month we took a look at the old policy identifying the content rules for Doylestown Television, things that were put together way back when we first really started having this TV station. Well, not when first, when we started having videos on it. And so we went through that in some detail, and I think I promised at that time foolishly that I would send you the same stuff for the social media. I say foolishly because now I've gone and looked at it, and what we have is actually quite a bit different. I sent it to you as part of the transmission for agenda and meeting notes. And it comes in the form of 2 resolutions that 1713 and 1719 both happened in 2013. I'm not exactly sure what we had in mind when we did all this, but one thing this is more about is the things we shouldn't do, like no vulgar or obscene language and no personal attacks and no political stuff. But it doesn't have the same kind of mission statement that the television channel did. So that was one interesting difference. I haven't read any of these things in a long time, but these are what the board actually approved when we put this thing up. You'll also notice there's another little interesting notion in 1719. There is talk about community media policy, because at that time, some of our people didn't like the term social media. So we added the word community, and since then, of course, the word community's fallen away and it's all social media at this point. Has anyone had a chance to look at this, and does anyone have any comments? Whoa,
Whoops.
Uh,
I'm guessing not.
I took a quick look at it, but I really don't have any comments on it. I just did a quick review, and I saw it was dated for the time it was done. But that was my thought. That's all.
Mhm.
It
It
might
does-
make sense to just to update it. I mean, I don't think Stephanie's training the supervisors to use any of the social media. I think that's in there. That's her job or responsibility. And, I think just,
Yeah.
maybe there might be other policies out there that we could sort of use to massage in the correct terminology. And since it's pretty antiquated, probably.
Yeah, I mean, Art hit the nail on the head. This is kind of what it was. It was all just kind of starting back then, for the townships and municipalities to have these social media sites, and we had a whole discussion between social media, as Ed said, and community media, because some people did not like the term on the board, social. And so at the time, we did do some training with the board, because we knew that some of them would start to have their own, Facebook things and stuff like that. And just to be careful about what they're posting and what could be grabbed as right, under right to know and things like that, which is certainly
Well,
come about, So, I mean, we did that at the time. Like I said, you're right, Nancy. It's dated, and, things have evolved, and, I think, yeah, it could probably use a little dust up and
Right.
dust off and,
right. It's not a criticism. I agree. I'm looking more at liability, people's commentary. I think we turn that off. Who
we don't
uses it.
respond to it. We don't respond to it.
Well, I don't even know if we should have that turned on
They can't do
in
that.
some cases. And, maybe other committees need to know that all committees should be using the township's social media, since we've had that conversation with other committees.
Mhm.
Like just a
Yeah.
couple little things like that to tweak it.
I think we should check to see if we're allowed to turn the public comment off. I'm not sure about that. I don't think you
Yeah.
can turn them off. I think they have to be able to respond. We just don't respond to it.
We don't engage, I
Correct.
guess we don't engage in a fight,
Yeah.
if you will.
Okay,
right.
so if someone posts
Yeah.
something vulgar, we remove it, correct?
We can, if
Correct.
they would use
It's
bad
vulgar,
language,
yes.
it's vulgar, yeah.
But if it's
or-
controversial and they don't like what the supervisor doing, we can't really take that off. That's them expressing their opinion.
Yeah.
is the
That's
way-
fine.
Yeah, and
That's
PSETS
fine.
just did a whole thing on it, and
But-
Aaron and I actually participated in a webinar as well.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, it's treated as a public forum.
Okay.
Mhm, right.
yeah, we have an automatic, just so everyone knows, we have an automatic response, which we have had basically since day one, that basically, and Chris, if I can pick on you for a minute, if you
Mhm.
posted something, it might say, Chris, thank you so much for your reply. Please contact the township offices during business hours and give the phone number. So it's a way to, it's like you do get a response,
Mhm.
but you get a very generic call the office response, not,
That's how I have the treasurer's office set up. It's the same way. It's like a generic auto reply. Mhm.
yeah. So we
Are-
have that.
Are
So,
supervisors contacted if something is posted that could be controversial?
yeah, I mean, if something's out there, we would certainly
Right.
share that. I mean, knock on wood, we really, now of course something's gonna happen bad, but we
Right, like
really,
if they
I
comment
mean,
about the dog park, you know, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, that gets a little, I mean, it depends on what it is. I mean, there was a thing today, you know, the bald eagle was great. We enjoyed the bird walk. I mean,
No, we don't care about,
you know, I visited
happy.
Central Park, thumbs up, we like that. But nothing really, you know, inappropriate. I mean, there've been times, I mean, if it's serious, I would reach out probably first to the chair to let them know what's going on and see the direction that they would want for the rest of the board. You know, I mean, a lot of the board members follow us, you know. So
I don't
they
have social media.
yeah, so you know, those who don't, we would certainly share it and everything. You know, if it were really, really bad, but like I said, you know, knock on wood, we really haven't had anything really inappropriate. And I don't know in all the years we've been doing this that we've had anything that would be considered vulgar, you know, that we've had that. So
Well, I mean, that's actually consistent with, if you'll think back to when we started broadcasting the
yes,
supervisor meetings, there was a great deal of concern about, oh my God, someone could run in the door, grab the microphone, and all kinds of bad stuff could happen. And we actually built into the system a number of kill switches that would enable us to take things off the air if we got ourselves in any problem. I left it intact for about 3 years and it never once got pushed, never had any reason to get pushed. The public was always very, I mean, they get themselves worked up from time to time, but they were always relatively polite. We never had a problem. And I actually removed the equipment and used it for something else. No one ever noticed it was gone because we had never.
Do we need to
never
have a,
used it.
do we need to have a Zoom policy? I mean, since we do have meetings and people can join them in terms of like public comment, I'm just thinking of everything or anything that could happen. You hear the Zoom bombs and
We're
whatever.
we're on the alert for that, and when we're operating the Zoom computer,
So is everybody who's a guest muted then automatically or not? Or do they have to do it themselves? Like when they join?
we can mute them. We haven't had occasion to have to, but we also have the ability to remove them. And we've never had an occasion to have to do that either.
That's a standard feature in Zoom.
It's a standard feature.
I'm just thinking the
For the
extreme.
host.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the extreme. I don't really have, when
I
you're
like
thinking
that.
about policy, I'm just looking at the whole.
Well, in an organization.
You're probably the best one because you're going live. You know anything that can happen.
Well, an organization I belong to, we, over the winter, we got Zoom bombed during a meeting. And because we had about 30 some odd people on there, it was a little tough to find who that person was. So what we did was, at least for us, we ended the call and then we just came back on. And as people were coming on, we were checking who they were. So
Yeah.
but that was a quick thing, because at that time none of us had the experience with a Zoom bomb, and after that we trained ourselves how to do it. So,
Yeah. I know a synagogue in Elkins Park got Zoom bombed during like a Saturday morning service with you know, anti-Semitism and things like that. And they kind of did the same thing. They just shut the Zoom down and kind of
restarted. Yeah.
restarted. Yeah.
Ours was sexual content and inappropriate language.
Yeah, I know 2 colleagues in municipal government had the same thing happen as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So
I mean, like, again, we have been fortunate, you know, and it's probably because we don't post the Zoom links. You kind of have to call to get it.
Yeah.
And I mean, all my colleagues who got Zoom bombed early on, they were posting everything all over the place. And, you know, it was like, find a way to sort of be a gatekeeper in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know,
well, we had a closed list as well, but since we like kids coming online, we figured that one of the kids gave it to one of his friends and
Yeah.
Yeah,
did the middle school thing, and so
Oh,
it turned out to
yeah.
be a problem.
it's once it's out, it's hard to.
It's hard to stop it.
Yeah, I know.
So we try to be vigilant, and if something
Mhm.
happened, we know where the controls are, but
Yeah.
haven't had the occasion to use it. Um, anyway, I guess we should take a look at this social media policy, because this is, and I know, Aaron, you had some specific things that you were
Hmm.
working on that you thought needed to be added to it. So we probably should do it all at once.
Mhm.
My impression is when I looked at the policy, I think it was, pretty much on point in where it was going. I mean, the content. It was just dated, and my recommendation as an attorney kind of thing, or someone looks at it from a legal standpoint, is try to be as generic and open-ended as you possibly can, so you don't have to keep on going through the renewal process every 5 or 7 years because technology has moved on. So
Right.
try to have it as open as, so the interpretation can be there for anything new that comes on. That's my
Good
only,
idea.
that's my only comment.
Okay. All right. Anything else on that topic?
So are we rewriting this, not rewriting it? I'm sorry, I'm not
Yeah, we're
clear.
going to take a look at it.
Okay, and then you'll forward it on to Jeff Garten for final review, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
No, we're just going to put it out there.
Art will be our review.
Now, Aaron will probably do some drafting of the
We have to do
document.
that.
and-
Yeah, well, I can give it a wash if you want to.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe we'll put Aaron and Art together and let them take a stab and then
Awesome.
run it by the committee again, and then we'll run it to Jeff and then back to the board.
Thank you.
It's a
Good.
map.
Okay.
Always.
Okay,
Mhm.
we'll talk about it in October.
If we're lucky, it'd probably December. Okay.
All right, so we've moved along on that one. Meeting room acoustic remediation.
Your favorite
We
topic?
actually have made some headway in that. We've got Armstrong Ceiling and Wall Panel Company has been helping us. And we're probably about 3 or 4 days away from getting the quotes. And we expect to bring forward the proposal to buy the wall panels to the June 15th Board of Supervisor meeting. So we made a lot of progress with one of the sales engineers from Armstrong. They actually did some simulation of our room and confirmed what our own consultant had found, came up with about the same amount of material. Though, and I think we're probably going to end up with 2-inch thick panels, which is one good thing that they came up with. Anyway, we're very close to being able to put together a purchase order for this and get board approval for it.
Okay, good.
So
Thank you.
June 15th meeting. Now, let's not all get too excited, because the last time we got this quoted, it was an 8-week lead time to get the material. Then we have to install it. So you can do the math, but it sounds like August to me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Could be August. But we're further along than we've had numerous conversations with Jeff Garten on this, about what's permitted under for bids, et cetera. And I think everything's clean, and I think we can move ahead. Okay, so I don't have any more on that topic unless someone else does. And by the way, that's one reason I mentioned the caucus room for the June meeting. As long as we think everybody would fit in there reasonably. If we were in the meeting room, you might find it hard to hear one another. At least I do anyway. So I might see if we could fit in the caucus room instead. Okay, anything new with Verizon? That's the next thing up.
Yeah, I checked with Bill Wirt from Northampton Township, who is working on that with the Cohen Group. Cohen is working with Verizon on those municipalities like us who, have a PEG channel, and they're going back and forth as to how much we would receive for, future purchases and items like that that could be used. So they're going back and forth on dollars and cents at this point.
Well,
But I asked him if we had to provide any additional information, and he said no. So, and we said what they gave us last time would be really nice. So,
yeah, that it would actually. It's,
yes, it would, but
there
you
were
know,
two tranches, as I remember. One was a surprise.
yes, I know. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Now,
You
can I ask, does it seem to be going smoothly? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, they finished up the overall contract for all the municipalities that don't have a PEG channel and just, receive funding from, those who have Verizon in their community. We're in a smaller group, about a dozen or so that have a PEG channel and actually actively use the PEG channel.
Mhm.
So, that is, what we're waiting on. So Verizon's going back and forth with Cohen on that. Cohen's a lawyer on behalf of the Bucks County Consortium of Municipalities. And Northampton Townships has took the lead on the contract negotiation
Right.
for the consortium.
Can I ask a question? Because I keep hearing about the negotiations and I don't know a lot about them. So Stephanie, I'll have to have a one-on-one just to learn more about it. But I know some of our community is struggling, like in Neshaminy Manor, and I've heard concerns about they all have different rates to pay to get some kind of services, and a lot of them have limited income. Is there any efforts or anything being looked at in terms of something we could do to help our folks at the Neshaminy Manor specifically, or I'm sure there's other areas that maybe there's a need so they're not getting these outrageous costs. I mean, some of us are going to Roku and other things to lessen our bills, but it's much more complicated. And I would really truly like to see us make some kind of an effort to address this. I know I've mentioned it before, but
Yeah. I know, I believe Neshaminy Manor has Comcast, and Comcast representatives have been out there. Unfortunately, I think, everybody kind of gets the basic and then they start, oh, I want Showtime, I want HBO, and they start adding up some of those private additional things, and
some don't have anything at
Yeah.
all, and they're told to just go use the big TV in the
that would,
community room.
yeah, that would be a county, situation as to who's running Neshaminy Manor,
Okay.
and
Chris, you're
operating.
on.
I know, I was
No,
thinking that.
Is it Neshaminy Manor or is it Grundy Hall? Because Neshaminy Manor is a nursing home versus Grundy Hall.
Chamonix Manor is where I've predominantly heard. I've talked to a lot of the residents there, and they're frustrated, and there is a huge financial impact for some, and they are limited, and that is their only resource. So it would be a huge win if some way we could help, especially with COVID being so isolating, even more so. I mean, I'm sick about it, and I feel helpless other than to share, what I hear, and if there's a way that we can help advocate for them in some way. I don't know who it is with the Comcast, but like I said, I am concerned, and I think that's something we need to try and advocate for them.
Yeah, I know there was problems at Grundy Hall, and when Marguerite Quinn was the state rep, she hosted things and brought Comcast in to Grundy Hall. And I've not heard it about Neshaminy Manor Nursing Home itself.
Yes, I have.
And I don't know, I mean, how that's set up.
I don't think our contract
No, it's not
Yeah.
specific. Yeah,
This is-
no,
this is
no, it
something-
doesn't have anything to do with our contract because that, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the property owner, just like we as, individual property owners can decide, do we want to, be with Verizon or Comcast? Do we want to cut the cords? That kind of thing. It's choice. Now, I don't know, have to check. I can call, let me call Margie McKevitt. She's kind of like my counterpart at the county.
Mhm.
She's the CO there. And I'll check with Margie and find out, the difference and, how they manage that, with the residents at both, Grundy Hall and Neshaminy Manor.
Thank
You
you.
know,
I'd
'cause
appreciate.
Yeah,
We at
Sure.
least looked into it, and if there's something we can do
absolutely,
to help advocate,
absolutely.
I'd appreciate that.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I just know with when, long time ago with Grundy, they were, people were signing up for, all kinds of channels, if you will, that were sort of the premium kind of stuff. And they didn't remember they had signed up for it. And it
wow.
became,
Mhm.
and they brought their bills to I mean, it was really nice. I mean, there was like a little lunch that Comcast brought in, tried to explain it, and people brought their bills. And, I was kind of looking over the shoulder at a couple people when they were talking, and it was like, well, you have, your basic, but then you also have, the golf channel, and you have this premium channel and that premium channel and HBO. And they were like, no, I don't. And they're like, it's on the bill. You signed up for it at some point. So, I mean,
It's
so
complicated for all of us. I mean, for
it
everybody.
is. And I mean, if you get a little older and it make it more difficult, in a situation, I'm sure it gets even more complicated.
Mhm. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you'll make a call and we'll see what we.
Yep, I'll call Margie.
All right, I have run out of topics on the agenda. I
Oh my
can't-
gosh, okay.
I have one comment. As we went through the boards and commissions of people that put things up, so we have the schools, we have the municipal authority, the bikes and hikes. Do we have anything on air from the police department, like safety videos or anything like that? Are they at times one of the agenda
Yeah,
items?
yeah, Chris, they did a neighborhood watch
Mm,
that we've put up. We did that a while back, but they did a neighborhood watch. I know they've also done like a things on identity theft in the past, so
But
I'm just curious.
the truth is they have not done much of anything recently.
recently, yeah.
We some years ago had much more material coming in that from the police department. They put all of their stuff, if you talk to them about this subject, they hang their hat on Crime Watch as the place
Oh,
where they
mhm.
put all of their information and focus. And they have been less than enthusiastic about putting more time into video messages.
Mm.
In the past.
They have a pretty good following though, don't they, Ed? In
Oh,
Crime Watch?
yeah, they have good following on Crime Watch, so,
Yeah.
so I think that's the way their stuff is really getting.
Yeah,
it.
that's how they put their messaging out.
Yeah, also, at one time, we had a liaison officer from the police department for about like a year, 18 months, somewhere around there. But I believe when she was promoted, she moved on and there was never a replacement.
Mm.
What kind of videos were you thinking, Chris? I'm just curious.
Safety, like, if vacation time's coming, remember to make sure that you're leaving automatic light on, or be aware of these scams. If there's somebody for the stimulus check, those kind of things. Just overall safety tips. Right, be careful riding your bike. Make sure you wear your bike helmet.
And I just don't know if some of that's sort of redundant of what's already out there.
Mhm. I'm just curious.
yeah, just
Well,
curious.
Chief White, when Steve White was the chief, he did a number of scam videos. But I would be hesitant to put them up now because
Mm.
they're probably 7, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah, dated.
But they're too dated at this point.
Mm.
And he's no longer the chief. No longer. at the
I guess what I was thinking is if you've got the school concerts on there and eventually the bike trail information, the dog park information, just to have the police presence as the positive one would be rounded out, I guess, because it was more because I'm taking the notes, I'm paying attention.
Well, that's fine. We had tried, the last thing we tried to do with the police department was to put together a meet your police
Yeah.
routine where we show pictures of the officers. And
Oh,
that got into a great deal of complication because the staff kept changing and the desire was to show them in their squads, and then the squads got reorganized. And by the time we worked through that for 6 months, everybody's nerves were so frayed that they didn't want to keep going. And so I thought we had finally come up with a way that it wasn't really going to be a video. It was going to be basically a slideshow with music.
mm.
And you could pop a slide in or pop it out. So I thought we had come up with a technique to solve our problems, but it was kind of too late in the game for that to fly. So we could try
It
revisit.
would be kind of cool to do, here are the people in your neighborhood kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I was
Officer
envisioning
Jones.
a dance one, every once in a while you see one of those YouTube videos of them dancing or.
Well,
flash mob.
we have them riding motorcycles too. We never.
Ooh,
Well, National Police Week is
Is-
October 13th through the
Mhm.
17th. So
Yep.
maybe we could,
at least the chief, at least do the chief.
if he wants to do a little something, think about it now and, really, because we are proud of our police and we're grateful for
Yeah.
everything they do.
What were
And
the
I guess-
dates again?
October 13th through the 17th in
Okay.
2021.
I wrote it down. Yeah.
That would be kind of cool if we.
Are
if
you
now-
sure about those dates?
Wait, no, now I'm seeing the week of May 9th.
believe
to
it's
the
May.
15th. Will be
It's right now.
recognized.
Right now is law enforcement, but
Well,
there is
National
something
Police
in the fall.
Oh, the other one was National Law Enforcement. There's different ones.
Yeah, Police Week is down in DC the second week of May.
Okay, yeah, there you go. All right.
But you know what?
I'm
It's
gonna go with Aaron. He's our
So
guy.
is it law enforcement week or? I know
Right
we
now it is.
posted that before.
National Police Week was the May 9th through the 15th. Is that correct?
that's right now.
Aaron?
Yep.
Yes, I think it's
maybe
a little late for that one.
Well, we could always put something on our website and say thank you and just recognize that and thank an officer if you see them. I mean, not that you need another slide to do. Sorry, Stephanie. Aaron,
Okay.
but if you want to, laughing, but
Well, I think I'd like to take another crack at the meet your police ones but
Mhm.
we have to figure the right way to approach it.
I
Well,
mean, we
that's
did,
it.
there was a lot of featured pictures in our last, the township newsletter that went out, Stephanie, too. They put a lot of pictures. You probably
Yes,
could
we
even
did.
still take some of those pictures of people who were promoted and got new jobs and recognize this week and put something together. And then if you want to do something bigger, you can talk to our chief.
Mhm.
If nothing else, we could do, if you see something, say something. That's always a good message. Like,
Great. Would be useful.
Fortunately, our
Anything.
crime numbers look really, really low, Chris. I'm
no,
always thrilled when I
thank
read them.
God.
I read them and I'm like, phew, zeros, lots of zeros in there.
Thank God. The
Very
goal
glad.
would be to keep them front and center with people knowing who they are, and then to keep promoting the safety. That's what you really want, right? Is to keep saying, yay, we're safe.
I don't know. Do they want all their pictures and names out there?
Not necessarily. I
I
mean,
was gonna
especially
say-
like some of the detectives, those that, do some undercover work and
Right.
stuff. Got to be careful, but
That's what I was thinking too. It might be,
yeah. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, well, let me talk to the.
I don't think
chief
we
and-
did the detectives the last time.
Yeah, I don't think we did the detectives either, because they sometimes do,
Patrol
you
officer.
know.
Right.
they do
Whoever's
that.
on the beat, that's who we need. Who's on the beat?
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else for tonight?
I don't have any thoughts, any additional thoughts.
Anyone else? Go
I
ahead.
just want to say thank you again for that fantastic document, and I'm
Mm.
hopeful and we'll keep promoting that the committees use it and really pushes the township forward. I'm really excited and grateful for everybody's effort and diligence on that. Thank you. And the committee support to want to do it. So it's awesome. So thank you.
So get ready, Jenya and Aaron, when we send it and the chairman want you to come speak to their committees. You just might be getting some invitations. All righty. I don't have anything else for tonight. So if you guys are done, I'll
Yes,
be
sir.
done.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right, I make a
Thank
motion
you.
that we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Dave?
All right. Away we go. Thank you, everybody.
Good
Hey,
night.
thank you all.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.